What is going on, guys? If you guys have been following the channel for the last month, you know we have been traveling like crazy. The beginning of last month, we ended up taking a trip down to Florida, visiting the LZ compound, and LZ actually helped me transform my drift car to actually drive a lot better. Right after that, we went over to Reed in Virginia Beach, where he actually straightened out the rear end of the E36 and made it way better than it ever was before. Then after that, we went over to my boy Mark's house in Maryland, and we actually painted a door, painted bumpers, did a bunch of stuff to actually make the car look better after Reed finished the rear end. Now, all of that was to get prepared for Legends of Drift that we did 2 weekends ago. We ended up getting 10th place, which honestly, compared to all of the pro drivers out there, really not that bad. Now, fast forwarding to last weekend, we just ended our last drift event for a couple of weeks, and that was staggered. Me and Orion went out there. We were getting doors all weekend. It was an absolute blast. Definitely excited for next year as well. With all of that being said, we are officially back at the shop for, I think, about a month. You know, my weekends are a little busy. We got Theo's wedding, bachelor party, cousin Matt's birthday, Grillo's birthday. Our weekends are fully packed out, and we have one special drift event that we need the LS car to make it to, and that is this one right here. September 12th, we're going to be going to Lock City. It is round 4, the final round of their street series, and I really want to drive my E36 in that. But we just have one problem. There might be a catch to this whole thing, and I think I might have blown the engine. So with that being said, let's change camera angles and talk about it. Now, over the course of the past 2 weeks, this car has been doing some weird stuff. Now, every time I'm drifting, I have oil, smoke flying out of the hood of this engine bay, actually right here. Now let me show you what underneath the engine bay actually looks like. You can see all of this oil, and it literally was just dunking everywhere. And now you can see that's probably not too normal, and it is quite the concern. So the first thing that we need to do, actually letting the car warm up and then trying to get an accurate compression number so we know if we need to take the rings out of this thing and if we have to rebuild this thing before Lock City Drift. So compression test is exactly what we did. Now cylinder number 1 got 210 PSI, cylinder number 2 got 210 PSI, and then cylinder number 3, of course, we ran into a problem. Are you messing with me? Why are you messing with me, Dan?
We'll be right back.
Come on, man. Never happens. We're doing a compression test.
That's the first time.
Yeah, like literally this never happens.
There it goes.
So with that debacle being over, obviously, yes, we need a new starter. So we retested cylinder 3, and it was 220 PSI. Moving on to cylinder 4, 220 PSI. Now the other side of the engine gets a little interesting. Cylinder number 5 hit 235 PSI. Cylinder number 6 hit a whopping 240 PSI. Cylinder 7 following cylinder 6 with 240 PSI, and cylinder 8 made it up to 220 PSI. So obviously the numbers on the driver's side, they ended up getting a little weird, you know? They're a little too high, and we're like, okay, now what is going on? So me and Dan, we started chit-chatting, and we were talking about the dipstick, and he was like, hey, how much oil did you put in? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I just kind of brought it to the fill line. And he was like, well, remember we made a custom dipstick? So then Dan went back to his shop. He grabbed this big dipstick. We put it in to kind of measure exactly where the oil was on the dipstick, and it turns out we think that I put way too much oil in this car. So what we're gonna find out right now is how much oil is in this car. I actually went to the website Canton Racing, and it turns out that with the oil pan behind me, they call for 6.5 quarts. I am almost 100% positive I put way more than 6.5 quarts, which would cause oil to be pushed out of my catch can and cause it to get all over the engine bay. So we're actually gonna drain the oil right now and measure how much oil is in this car. So this is for science, so we don't wanna spill any of this. We need to know exactly how much oil. Adjustables. How much oil we actually put in this engine. Because to be honest, I don't even know. Okay, make sure we catch all of this. All right, so we got a good flow here. So we're gonna start by putting it in the bucket, and then we're gonna grab some normal jugs so we can properly measure what comes out. So while you guys are staring at my oil drain, I'm over here stressing out, thinking that I could have blown up my engine, and I'm looking for some old oil in an old jug. Looks old. Now that the oil is done draining out of the ELS car, I think it's safe to assume there's probably still half a quart in it, just as like residue in between the engine and stuff like that. The goal is now is we have an empty 5-quart jug right here, and we're just gonna keep pouring this in and then put it into the old oil after we track the amount. So here we go. Hopefully this goes nicely. Oh! Okay, let's see where that's at. So you can see right here, that's exactly at the 4-quart mark. So we're just gonna dump this and start over. Now in a perfect world, I would have about 7 quarts in this thing due to it having an oil cooler as well. So you want about 1/4 to 1/2 quart extra because obviously you're running more volume with the lines and the oil cooler as well. So we just drained out 4 quarts. Let's go for another round. Interesting. This is interesting. So as you can see right here, we have now 2 quarts. So technically, I am actually half a quart under what Canton Racing wants me to run with the oil pan that I have in my car. Oh, come on. Damn it. Now, obviously, we have good compression. At first, we were thinking that the cylinders that had 240 PSI, maybe those are higher because we had too much oil in the system. But obviously, as we just checked, that is not the case at all. But we have one more observation, and that is the oil catch can. The catch can. And we're also thinking that it's just too small because that's not really a catch can.
No, it's a little breather thing.
So we're thinking that probably the rings are good, but we're thinking that if we just make these breather holes bigger, put it to a proper catch can, we're gonna be a-okay with that. So you can see right here, I actually just took the catch can off. Now we're thinking that this is pretty much just a breather. I wouldn't even count this really as a catch can, and the nipples on this thing are super small. These holes are super small, so we're thinking if we cut the valve cover and we actually put like a -10 fitting on it and actually allow it to breathe a little more, maybe this just won't happen again. But the fact that the compression test checked out, the fact that we didn't overfill it with oil, we're really pointing towards the PCV system and actually crankcase pressure. I think if we can actually let this engine breathe just a little more, I think we're gonna be a-okay. Which you can see behind me, I have a giant piece of aluminum, and Dan is actually gonna be helping me make a catch can, and we also need this piece to make a bunch of different brackets because we are going with a brand new Holley harness, and we're finally going to be actually transforming this car, something we probably should have done a long time ago. So we have a Terminator X that we're going to be installing in this car, and we also have the Holley harness as well to go along with that. So first things first, we're going to get this thing outside, we're going to clean it, we're going to pressure wash it because obviously we're going to be taking everything off of this, we're going to be redoing a lot of stuff, and from the catch can blowing oil everywhere, it is quite dirty. So let's get it outside, let's pressure wash this thing, we'll bring it back inside, we'll bring the pressure washer inside, and then figure out what we're gonna do next. Okay, so we pressure washed most of the engine bay now. I never thought of using this as a wash bay. Dan just said, just pressure wash it on the lift. I said, yeah? He said, yeah. I said, okay. First things first is we're gonna take the starter off. Before I get a new starter, I just wanna confirm that I get the right one. Oh yeah, you're gonna get dripped on everywhere. It's pouring down here. I get the starter off first because we know we have to change that. And the whole harness needs to come out of the car. And I'm kind of thinking, Dan, to just cut most of the harness out inside.
There's not anything in there.
The body harness still, or not the body harness, like the body module, like there's so many different boxes in there. And I want it all gone. I want to simplify this thing just so like we know what every single wire is and then just be done with it. Yes.
Yeah, we got to take carpet out for that.
Carpet?
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's not too bad. This thing is gonna get a whole makeover. We did the makeover on the outside. We already kind of ruined it a little bit, but my friend Devin's got some doors, so I'm gonna buy 2 new doors, and I have another M3 front bumper. We have a bunch of paint, so what I'll do is we'll prime them all again, and then just get them painted in one shot, and then we'll have an extra passenger door. We'll have some extra stuff, so when something does happen, because it will, we can fix it quicker. So you can see right here, we got the starter out. Maybe it didn't run or start good, because look at all that. This thing has seen better days, but we have a new starter coming in the morning, but now it's the fun stuff. It's time to rip and tear, huh, Dan?
We're gonna tear it all out of here.
So we're just gonna take the whole harness out. That's our goal.
We're taking everything out, right?
Everything.
You wanna pull the seats out?
Yeah, I'll pull the seats out.
Let's do it.
So we're gonna pull the carpet out and everything.
Yeah.
Dang, all right. This is gonna be a big transformation. I'm excited. So he's gonna work in the engine bay. I'm gonna work on the seats and getting the carpet out, and let's roll. So this took about 27 minutes to take apart, and about, I don't think it's ever gonna run again.
I'm so worried for no reason.
I don't think it's ever gonna run again, bro. There is so many wires in there. I don't know what's going on, but
Not for long.
as you can see, the harness is out. This is it. That was the easy part, was taking this thing apart. The hard part is getting this thing to run again. If you come into here, just take a look at what we're working with up there and stuff. Like, you cut half of it already?
Oh yeah, I cut bundles of wire.
So I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take all of this wiring out and then figure out what everything is later. Right, Dan?
That's it.
And we'll run, how we doing windows and shit?
Hopes and dreams.
What?
It'll be okay, don't worry.
I've never done this, you know, like it's one thing wiring in like an IET sensor, like an oil pressure sensor. Now we're wiring a whole damn car. It was cool on paper. Now I'm over here like, shit. We got September 12th, we have 11 days. Get this thing running.
2 hours, we're ready for bed.
2 hours, we'll see. I'm afraid Dan's having too much fun.
You giving it the shot?
Dude, he's like, yeah, we don't need this, cut this. We'll save some, we'll wire this later.
This guy's got speakers in here and everything. We ain't got no radio.
Look at all this stuff. What is all of this stuff? Why does a stock car need all of this? This is crazy. We're probably gonna lose 25 pounds.
It's gonna feel like you picked up 15 wheel.
This is sick. Well, it'll be sick when it runs. I'm really happy to see, like this was dumb, like having this fucking hang here and shit and everything zip tied. Like, look at this debacle up here. I don't even know if you can really see it, but it's a nightmare.
Most of this stuff in this car just has bundles of wires that are all zip tied together and stuffed in different places. So we're just getting rid of the stuff you're not using anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely, once this is done, I'll be stoked. Oh my.
Be ready.
What's all that?
You don't need that, but we're going.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, let me get all this. So, we got all the wiring out. We just pulled the dash out of the car and everything. Dan, do you actually think we're getting this thing running again?
I'm getting a little worried, but maybe.
Maybe?